You just brought home what everyone calls the perfect handgun, but there is a hidden learning curve they left out of the manual. What you do not know about it could actually cost you when it matters most. Trainers, high round count shooters, and active form members all agree that there are specific hurdles everyone faces, whether you are brand new to shooting or just crossing over from another brand. These are the top 10 things owners usually learn the hard way, counting down to the most important. Ten. The factory sights are basically placeholders. New owners often assume a new gun comes with duty-ready sights, but on a standard model, the factory sights are made of cheap plastic. In the firearms community, they are jokingly referred to as dovetail protectors. They are simply there to fill a gap until you get something much better. These plastic pieces wear down easily and get heavily dented if bumped. If you are doing one-handed slide manipulation drills, they can shear completely off. This leaves you trying to aim with a flat piece of metal under pressure. Because of this fatal flaw, upgrading to quality steel or tritium night sights is universally recommended as the very first modification you should make. It is an extra cost you absolutely have to factor into the initial purchase. Beginners often head straight to the range, only to get extremely frustrated when their plastic sights get scuffed up on day one. Swap them out before you even buy your first box of practice ammo. 9. Custom Cerakote jobs cause sluggishness. It is very tempting to buy a beautifully customized, Cerakoted version right off the shelf. They look incredible in the display case, but what dealers do not tell you is that the added thickness of this coating inside the slide rails can cause initial failures to feed or extract. The engineering tolerances on these handguns are extremely tight to begin with. When you add a layer of baked-on paint, things get very sticky. Owners often think they bought a lemon when the brand new customized pistol starts jamming on every other round. They panic and think they wasted their money on a broken tool. In reality, the gun just needs a few hundred rounds through it to wear the coating off the friction points and smooth out the action. You have to force the metal to mate back together perfectly by shooting it a lot. If you buy a custom color, just be mentally prepared for a rough first trip to the range. 8. The grip angle requires reprogramming. If you're coming from a 1911, a CZ, or a Sig Sauer, your first range trip might be highly frustrating. This platform utilizes a steeper grip angle than most other handguns on the market. Because of this specific design choice, shooters transitioning to it often find their natural point of aim pushes front sight uncomfortably high. When you punch out to a paper target, you will likely be looking right over the top of the gun. A lot of people instantly blame the barrel or the sights, claiming the weapon is inaccurate, but it is not an accuracy issue with the barrel at all. It is simply a biomechanical difference that takes dedicated dry fire practice to rewrite your wrist angle. You literally have to train your forearm muscles to point your hands in a slightly downward direction. Do not give up on it after just one bad range session, because your brain just needs time to adapt to the new geometry. 7. Oil in the striker channel is a death sentence. These weapons are famously capable of running filthy, but they will absolutely choke if lubricated incorrectly. Owners naturally want to oil everything to keep the internal metal safe, but allowing oil or cleaning solvent to seep into the firing pin channel is a massive mistake. Also known as the striker channel, this specific area needs to be kept totally dry at all times. When oil gets in there, it mixes with carbon buildup from shooting to create a thick, sticky sludge. This dark sludge acts just like glue, slowing down the striker significantly. The end result is a light primer strike, meaning the gun just goes click instead of bang. There is absolutely nothing scarier than pulling a heavy trigger and getting total silence when you expect a loud noise. To prevent this, keep the striker channel completely bone dry and never just spray lubricant blindly into the back of the slide. Before we get to the absolute biggest mistake people make with their internal parts, make sure you hit that subscribe button for All About Survival. We are always dropping the proven facts you need to keep your gear running flawlessly in the worst conditions imaginable. 6. The factory MOS plates are the weakest link. Buying the Optics Ready version, also known as MOS, feels exactly like future-proofing your purchase. Red dots are clearly the future of modern shooting, and having a slide pre-cut for one is a very smart move. However, owners quickly discover that the factory cast metal adapter plates provided in the cardboard box are notoriously weak. They have a very well-documented tendency to bend, randomly snap, or completely lose zero under heavy recoil. The tiny mounting screws can shear right off, sending your explosive glass optic flying straight back into your face. Relying on these cheap pieces of weak metal for a serious defensive tool is a huge risk. If you actually plan to mount a red dot, replacing the factory plate with a high-quality aftermarket steel or aluminum plate is basically mandatory. Respected companies like C&H Precision make fantastic, durable upgrades for this exact problem. Spend the extra money on a solid foundation so your glowing dot actually stays exactly where you put it. 5. Brass to the face isn't always user error. New shooters frequently blame their own grip when hot brass continuously ejects straight back into their safety glasses or right down their shirt. It is incredibly distracting and can actually burn you if a hot casing gets trapped against your bare skin. People will spend frustrating hours trying to fix their stance and hand placement, thinking they are doing something terribly wrong. While your grip can definitely influence strange ejection patterns, getting brass to the face is a well-documented mechanical quirk. This highly annoying issue is particularly prevalent in late Gen 3 and early Gen 4 models. Fixing it permanently usually requires swapping in a Gen 5 ejector or an aftermarket apex extractor to finally cure the erratic ejection pattern for good. Once you make that tiny part swap, the empty metal casings will fly off nicely to the right side, exactly like they're supposed to. So if you're eating hot brass every time you shoot, stop blaming yourself and look at the internal parts. 4. The pinky pinch during speed reloads. Because this exact model is officially considered a compact frame, the grip is just short enough to cause a very specific, painful ergonomic issue. A shooter with average to large hands will instantly notice their pinky finger resting right against the open magazine well gap during a slow, casual day at the static range. This is not a big deal at all, but things change entirely when you are moving fast under heavy pressure. When slamming a fresh magazine home during a speed reload, it is incredibly common to trap the soft meat of your pinky or palm between the magazine base plate and the hard frame. This aggressive pinching action results in a vicious, painful blood blister. It really hurts a lot, and it can seriously mess up your intense concentration on the very next string of fire. Over time, you organically learn to consciously flare your pinky out away from the gun every single time you insert a new magazine. 3. The Glock knuckle is a rite of passage. The primary transition area directly between the grip and the underside of the trigger guard is very blocky and angular. It totally lacks the smooth, comfortable, contoured feeling you easily find on some modern competing handguns. Shooters using a proper, aggressive high-tang grip will quickly find the plastic trigger guard relentlessly rubbing against the side of their strong hand middle finger. Getting your hands as high as possible is absolutely crucial for properly controlling muzzle rise, but it comes at a painful physical cost right here. After a long range session of a few hundred rounds, this sensitive area gets rubbed entirely raw. This painful physical phenomenon is universally known in the shooting community as Glock knuckle. This exact issue is why trigger guard undercuts are one of the most popular DIY modifications on the entire market. Dedicated people literally take a Dremel tool and carefully sand down that specific, annoying spot to create a smooth, deeply comfortable resting place for their middle finger. 2. The trigger doesn't need replacing, it needs breaking in. Right out of the brand new box, the factory trigger is notoriously spongy, highly gritty, and incredibly heavy. It legitimately feels like dragging a cheap piece of plastic directly across a rough gravel rock. Because of this terrible first physical impression, many eager owners immediately drop $150 or more on an expensive aftermarket trigger. They desperately want that crisp, glass-like break right away on day one. What they learn way too late in the game is that the internal stamped metal components actually naturally polish themselves beautifully through raw friction. After about 1,000 dry fire repetitions, the stock trigger smooths out dramatically on its own. You can also safely achieve this by doing a careful 25-cent DIY polish on the trigger bar and internal connector. Once it properly breaks in, it turns into a very predictable, highly reliable duty brake. Save your money for ammunition and practice pulling the trigger until the grittiness disappears naturally. 1. Upgrading internals ruins the famous reliability. The number one thing owners learn entirely too late is falling into the Gucci Glock trap. This specific firearm built its global legacy on being a highly reliable tool that goes bang every single time you need it to. It is the undisputed workhorse of the industry. However, new owners very often fall down the massive aftermarket parts rabbit hole. They eagerly start swapping out factory recoil springs, internal connectors, and strikers to build a highly specialized race gun. They honestly think they are making the weapons significantly better, faster, and much more accurate, but they quickly discover that mixing and matching tolerances from many different aftermarket companies introduces serious mechanical failures. You immediately start seeing dangerous failures to feed, nasty failures to eject, and critical battery issues. A gun that used to run perfectly suddenly becomes a finicky nightmare that jams every 10 rounds. If you are actually carrying this weapon daily to defend your life and the lives of your loved ones, leave the internal components completely stock. Subscribe right now to All About Survival so you never miss another breakdown.